All right, good morning, everybody. Selamat pagi semuanya. Welcome to our training today. What we're going to do today is we're going to set up 2023. Ya, jadi apa yang kita akan lakukan hari ini adalah kita akan memastikan 2023 sangat tertata untuk Anda dan kita benar-benar siap untuk mendapatkan hasil yang maksimal dari tahun 2023 ini. So let's get started. Okay, so as you guys know, what we do here is that we help people scale their business to the right size for them. And the three most important components that will create that scaling right for you is the purpose, the people, and the process. And today, this is all about the clarity of this purpose. Yeah, so how we're going to translate your ideas, your hopes, your dreams, your vision into actual reality. So jadi hari ini tujuan kita adalah membantu Anda untuk mendapat kejelasan dari personal purpose Anda untuk memastikan visi Anda menjadi kenyataan. So let's just get started. Let's look at some of the common problems that most people face when it comes to translating dreams into reality. Ya, jadi ini beberapa tantangan yang dihadapi oleh orang-orang saat mau mengubah impian menjadi kenyataan. So the first thing is that most people run their lives using to-do lists. And as we know, to-do list is endless. And what goes into a to-do list? Pretty much everything. Right, so you're on this cycle of just trying to complete the to-do list, and a lot of the times other people's to-do list that's being put into our plate. The next thing is that we tend to focus on just the results. Ya, jadi hal yang kedua ini kadang-kadang kita hanya fokus ke hasilnya saja, and as we know, it's rare in life that we get instant results. Ya, jadi di hidup ini jarang kita dapat hasil yang langsung atau instan. But we're also conditioned to get instant gratification. Ya, tapi otak kita dilatih untuk mendapat instant gratification. As a result, this can make us very frustrated because the weight doesn't disappear in one day. Maybe the sales don't go up exactly just in one day, but there's got to be this continuous work that needs to be done. The other thing is that a lot of people live their life in a very reactive mode. Ya. Banyak orang yang melalui hidup ini dengan mode reaktif. So that basically you just respond all the time, and it can get quite tiring because you never really get to where you want to go because you're always having to respond. The next thing is because you are so responsive, you tend to miss the important things in life. Ya, jadi karena kita terlalu responsif, kita terlalu ngikutin kebutuhan klien, kebutuhan siapapun, kadang-kadang justru kita kehilangan kesempatan untuk berada di saat-saat yang penting di hidup kita ini. And sometimes even when we're there, we're not really there. We're still, on WhatsApp, responding, thinking about work. So as a result, you don't get the important things in your life. Yeah, there's a lot of shoulds in your life. Ya, jadi hasilnya banyak sekali di hidup kita ini yang kita merasa seharusnya titik, right? Kita nggak ada waktu untuk benar-benar melakukan hal-hal yang menurut kita sebetulnya penting, tapi nyatanya kalah penting dengan kebutuhan yang lain. Ya, so akhirnya kita mendapatkan apa yang kita dapatkan, right? So a lot of people just settle. Yeah, you just get what you get. This is what life is. So let's look at the opportunity. What next year could be for you? Oke, mari kita ngelihat 2023 ini sebetulnya bisa seperti apa sih untuk Anda. Ideally, you want to be able to block and schedule your execution time so you know that you'll get things done. Ya, jadi kita pengen ngeblok waktu untuk benar-benar melakukan hal yang menurut kita adalah pentingnya akan bantu kita mencapai hasil yang kita inginkan. You want to be able to focus on just the key actions. You want to make sure that there's a few things that you do each day that will get you closer to the goals. Ya, jadi kita ingin benar-benar memastikan ada beberapa hal kunci yang kita perlu lakukan setiap hari yang akan memastikan kita mendapatkan hasil. And we want to make sure that we position the pieces correctly before we even start playing so that we have the highest chance of success. Jadi kita juga bagaikan kita bermain catur, idealnya kita pengen memposisikan semua biji-biji catur ini supaya kita bisa mendapat kesempatan menang yang tertinggi di tahun depan. So before we even start, we want to have a good chance of winning. And then we want to make sure that we can be there when it counts and we're fully present. Ya, jadi kita juga ingin di tahun depan ini kita benar-benar bisa berada di mana kita harus berada dan fully present. And then you want to have this feeling of turning shoulds into done. Ya, jadi kita ingin benar-benar bisa mengubah rasa harusnya menjadi benar-benar sudah saya lakukan dengan baik. Ya, ideally done well. And so basically you're gonna stack the odds of success in your favor. Ya, jadi kita bisa benar-benar memastikan bahwa kemungkinan sukses ini lebih tinggi untuk kita even sebelum kita memulai tahun depan. Alright, so what I'd love to hear from you guys is just type on the chat, silakan ditulis di chat, or start with your notes first. How does this apply to you? What appeals to you the most? What resonates with you the most? Oke, silakan dituliskan di chat atau di catatan Anda satu hal apa dari apa yang kita share ini yang kira-kira paling kena untuk Anda. Alright, okay. So I'm going to share with you a few key principles before we get to the actual work, okay? So here we go. The first thing is that we have to understand that our results follow our calendar. Ya, kita harus benar-benar jelas di sini bahwa hasil kita nih ngikutin kalender kita. If it's not blocked in your calendar, if it's not scheduled, there's a good chance it won't happen. Ya, jadi kalau tidak dijadwalkan, tidak tertulis di kalender Anda, kemungkinan besar ini nggak akan terjadi. If you're the kind of person who don't like to use calendars, then you're not doing yourself a lot of favors. Jadi kalau Anda nggak suka menggunakan kalender, Anda membuat hidup Anda jauh lebih susah sebetulnya dari sini. So you just gotta make sure that if it's not scheduled, it's probably not gonna get done. Just remember that, okay? The next key principle is going to be that you have to know what drives your success. Ya, prinsip yang berikutnya nih kita harus mengetahui juga, kita harus sadar bahwa Anda harus mengetahui apa sih sebetulnya yang menciptakan keberhasilan Anda di hidup Anda. So you're going to think about your success drivers at work, in your business. You're going to think about your success drivers at home, yourself, your family, and in terms of your growth as well. Ya, jadi Anda harus benar-benar tahu apa sih pendorong-pendorongnya nih, faktor-faktor yang mendorong keberhasilan Anda di bisnis Anda, hidup Anda, perkembangan diri Anda sendiri. This is going to be the key difference between just existing to actually progressing. Ya, jadi kalau kita bisa mengetahui apa sih yang mendorong ini, and then kita bisa mengukurnya, ini bisa mengubah pola pikir kita dari kita cuma exist aja sampai benar-benar kita punya progress, right? So you got to be clear on these drivers. The next thing is that we want to do the heavy thinking ideally up front so that next year you can just execute. Yeah, if you have to think about what do I need to do today, what do I need to do this week, what do I need to do this quarter, there's a lot of heavy thinking that you're going to do next year. So ideally, just like the driver in a Formula One car, you want to have a lot of the work done outside of you, right? You just want to focus on the fewest thought possible, but the most important thoughts. Okay, jadi kita ingin memastikan kita bisa mengeluarkan memikir hal-hal kecil atau harus selalu memikirkan hal yang sama di tahun depan. Kalau bisa kita memikirkannya di depan sehingga masuk ke tahun depan kita tinggal eksekusi aja. Jadi bagaikan seorang pengemudi Formula One, banyak hal-hal kecilnya dilakukan oleh orang lain sehingga dia hanya harus ngambil keputusan-keputusan yang penting-penting saja, yang sangat penting, yang hanya dia yang bisa melakukannya, right? So the key principle here is that you wanna make sure that you wanna spend your energy on as few decisions as possible, but on the most important decisions each day. Ya, jadi Anda ingin memastikan bahwa Anda mengambil sesedikit mungkin keputusan per hari, tapi keputusan-keputusan yang berbobot dan bermakna yang Anda ambil setiap hari. So a lot of the scheduling, a lot of the what do I need to do, ideally we can do that up front so that the rest is just execution. Okay? And then ultimately the last thing is that, human beings overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. Ya, jadi banyak manusia yang merasa bisa melakukan lebih banyak di dalam 1 tahun, tapi tidak apresiasi apa yang sebetulnya bisa mereka capai dalam 10 tahun. So we tend to put too much on our plate. Ya, jadi kadang-kadang kita suka terlalu ambisius saat planning. Ya, so the key here is to really just not to put too much on your plate, but to put what's really important for you. Ya, jadi kita ingin memastikan di sini untuk tidak menaruh sebanyak-banyaknya di jadwal kita, tapi hanya benar-benar planning yang paling penting untuk kita. So you gotta be congruent with your values here. Yeah, what is important for you? Work, personal, and life. Ya, jadi Anda harus benar-benar kongruen dengan nilai-nilai hidup Anda, values Anda. Apa sih yang penting untuk Anda dalam konteks pekerjaan, keluarga, maupun personal Anda. And then finally, the fifth component is just executing, getting things done. You've scheduled the things, you gotta follow your schedule. Ya, yang kelima, kita tinggal mengikuti jadwal yang sudah kita tentukan. Now, obviously, life happens, but that's why the value of the schedule is you can move things around, you can adjust as you go. But having a plan, working that plan, adjusting that plan will make it a lot easier than having to come up with a new plan each day. Okay, so jadi kuncinya di sini untuk eksekusi akan jauh lebih mudah kalau Anda punya sebuah rencana yang bisa Anda ikuti. Nah, tentunya kehidupan akan terjadi, bisa sakit lah, bisa apapun yang muncul. Tapi dengan adanya sebuah rencana, Anda bisa jalanin, mengubah, tweaking, menyesuaikan kalau perlu, dan tinggal dieksekusi. Nah, ini jauh lebih mudah daripada kalau Anda nggak punya rencana sama sekali, karena kalau nggak punya rencana, setiap hari Anda harus bikin rencana lagi. Yeah, so again, it's all about minimizing the decisions that you have to make and making sure that you're making the most important decisions each day. Okay, so what I would love to hear from you before we get to the workshop part is what has been most useful for you so far out of the principles, ya? Apa yang dari prinsip-prinsip tadi yang paling berguna untuk Anda? Please type it on the chat. Let's share this model quickly with you before we get to work, ya. Jadi kita ngeliat model ini sebentar. So this is a sequence that we all have to go through if we want to manifest anything in our life. Ya, ini sebuah sequence yang kita harus jalani di dunia ini kalau kita ingin mencapai sebuah hasil, right? So let's say this is the result that we want to achieve up here. Yeah, before we can achieve anything, we have to start with having a clear intention. Ya, jadi yang pertama kita harus jelas itu adalah sebuah niat, right? Everything starts with a dream, and then you can turn it into a goal, but everything is underlined by your intention. Ya, jadi kita harus jelas dulu dengan niatnya. And what we want to do is we want to, I guess, convert, what most people have. You have a lot of dreams. Kita punya banyak mimpian, which is kind of cluttered, ya, berantakan. Ada banyak mimpiannya. We have a lot of different dreams. And what we want to do is we want to get a bit more clarity as to what you really want to manifest this next year. Ya, jadi kita pengen dapat kejelasan tentang apa sih yang sebetulnya ingin kita realisasikan di tahun ke depannya. And then we want to make sure that we pay a lot of attention to the things that we intend to manifest. Ya, jadi kita harus memastikan kita memberikan perhatian ke hal-hal yang ingin kita dapatkan menjadi nyata di tahun depan. So we want to turn I'll get to it whenever. Ya, jadi kita ingin mengubah saya akan ngerjainnya kapan-kapan into something that is actually scheduled, so you're gonna do it. Ya, jadi Anda jelas Anda akan melakukannya, udah ada jadwalnya untuk ini. And then the third component is usually what's missing with a lot of people. A lot of people have clear goals. A lot of people maybe have clear schedules, but they don't give themselves the permission to actually do it. Ya, jadi walaupun banyak orang sudah punya goal, mereka udah punya rencana, kadang-kadang mereka kurang memberi izin untuk melakukannya gitu. Dalam arti, what does that mean? What does that mean is that they create a sense of fluidity to their plan. Is that, okay, we scheduled it, but we don't have to do it, because they don't block that time. They don't make it sacred. They don't make it like this is really important for me because I really want the results. Ya, jadi banyak orang walaupun udah punya rencana, hukumnya dari rencana itu sendiri mungkin kurang dari wajib, sehingga suka kalah dengan reaksi-reaksi kepentingan orang lain, kadang-kadang bisa mengalahkan kepentingan mereka sendiri. So that's usually because lack of planning and lack of clarity, prioritization. Ya, so, jadi kita ingin memastikan bahwa kita bisa ngeblok waktu kita supaya ini jadi waktu yang sakral, right? The key principle here is that when you're making a goal, when you're making a plan, you're really making a promise to your future self. Ya, jadi saat Anda membuat sebuah goal atau sebuah rencana, Anda sebetulnya membuat janji ke diri Anda sendiri di masa depan. Right? You're actually making a promise to your family in the future. You're actually making a promise to your employees in the future. You're making a promise to your friends in the future. So it's not just a plan. It's a promise. It's an agreement. It's a contract to your future self, right? Because shoulds indicates regret. We don't want regrets. Ya, jadi kita ingin memastikan di sini bahwa kalau Anda membuat sebuah goal atau rencana, itu sebetulnya adalah janji untuk diri Anda sendiri, dengan diri Anda sendiri di masa depan, dengan karyawan Anda di masa depan, dengan klien Anda di masa depan, rekan-rekan Anda di masa depan, keluarga Anda di masa depan. Ya, dan kita ingin memastikan bahwa kita ingin mengubah seharusnya menjadi dan seperti tadi, sehingga kita tidak punya rasa penyesalan. Right? Somebody told me once this wonderful quote which says, "Hell on earth is meeting the person that I could have been." Ya, jadi ada yang bilang neraka dunia adalah saat saya menemui orang yang sebetulnya saya bisa menjadi seperti itu. So let's get rid of regrets. Let's make sure that we set our intention, attention, and permission to make sure that you get the results that you want to get. Okay, so let's get to work. So here we have some tools that you guys can use to inventorize, prioritize, and then use to plan your next year. Ya, jadi di sini kita ada beberapa tools kita yang bisa Anda gunakan untuk menginventarisasikan, prioritasikan, lalu merencanakan kapan apa yang akan dilakukan. So we start with getting clarity on your goals, your business drivers. So this would be like the type of targets that we normally get our members to get clear on. Any other success metrics that you need in your business. Ya, jadi pertama kita mulai dengan target-target bisnis Anda dari sisi keuangan, jumlah customer, lalu juga hal lain apa saja yang penting di situ. And then you can get clarity on your business drivers and how often you have to do it and when. Okay. And then you're looking at the things that would actually help you grow and help your team grow. So list them out here, how often and when. Ya, silakan didaftarkan di sini kapan mau dilakukannya. You can use this tool to sort of just do a quick check on where you are for your personal life and your family, and determine what your priorities are for the next year. Ya, Anda bisa menggunakan tool ini untuk lebih jelas lagi apa aja sih yang penting untuk hidup Anda pribadi dan keluarga Anda, prioritasnya apa tahun depan, inventorize the key things that needs to happen here, and then you can use our schedules, our calendars to map out when exactly you're going to do what. All right, hope you enjoy the application and take care.